Yo, what's good, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Altcoin Bosses. So, in today's video, what I'm going to be looking for is to try and determine the coins that have pulled back quite aggressively. Okay, now sometimes it's always good to try and look for coins that are actually making gains to the upside, but what you really want to try and focus on is looking at the coins that are actually showing signs of breaking down, because where are they breaking down from? All right, naturally we always expect this is the pattern that we want to see in all coins. Okay, we want to see it to the upside, but more importantly we want to see that to the downside as well. So the purpose of this video is to get you into the practice of trying to understand what to really look for when you're coming and actually looking for entries with the altcoins. Okay, now there's two ways you can trade altcoins. You can either just buy them and hope that they go up in value, so you're acting like a holder, or you can actively just search for points in the chart where the momentum is going to play out. And this is where these patterns come into play. All right, so firstly, let's understand something. Right in front of you, you can see Matic, okay? So Matic has taken a little bit of a beating to the downside. But funnily enough, ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand why that's happened. Because Bitcoin has also done the same thing, all right? Now, Bitcoin looks like it's trying its way to come down towards refilling this previous wick right here, which is important because we've been talking about this wick getting recovered in the streams. So go and watch those streams so you can understand exactly how this breakdown is likely to play out. But more importantly, what we need to try and keep in our minds is this. If we go back to the idea of coins that are actually losing, let me just go back to Matic. All right, you can see that it's following the same behavior as Bitcoin. Okay, but at the same time, you can see that we've got two scenarios here which could play out. You've got this big W formation that appears to be forming. Now, if Bitcoin's going to drop lower, then there's likely a chance that the altcoins themselves are going to continue with their gains. Okay, which is why I'm saying to you, focus on the coins that are in the red right now, because they could be looking for basing opportunities and preparation for moving away from the zones, which would by principle recover some of the loss that they've got here so that they can work towards finishing positive. Okay, so a hypothetical example would be if Matic continues from this point, we understand that they are actually preparing to move out of this zone to try and come back up towards these pools of liquidity here. But the thing that's concerning me, ladies and gentlemen, is New York. We haven't had New York trading yesterday, all right? It was a Veterans Day. Everything was quiet across the board, and you could see that with Bitcoin just not doing anything, okay? All of a sudden, only the last couple of hours, Bitcoin has decided to make a dump to the downside, and everything else seems to have followed suit, okay? Just look, OMG. That was a little bit of a move to the downside. That's quite a scary move, but this is why I say you need to look at coins that are dropping so aggressively like this, because we only know that one thing can happen from this point. We understand that this is an imbalance in the chart. There is a plethora of orders in this zone that the market maker has gone in and built long. Why? Because he's attacked all the guys who went long and hit their liquidation points and successfully come back to other pools of liquidity in the chart right here. All right, this is important that you do this practice, guys, because it's going to help you understand how to navigate for altcoins that are preparing to make big moves. Now, if you zoom out on this chart, you can see that there is a massive pattern, okay, on OMG, okay, which will make you question and say, hold on a sec, is this actually going to play out? Because it looks like it already has. So we've got now this big M formation that has dropped, all right? What do we expect from an M formation? We expect to retrace back up. So here is the cycle. You've got an M formation right there. You've got the drop down, the retrace. And if it's going to continue down lower, then we will see the continuation to the downside, which is the pattern that we look for from the cyclical move of the peak formation. So I'm expecting a retrace. But with the aggressiveness of the way this move has happened, they could continue lower. And it's all down to what New York decide to do. That's what's important. Jasmine, also taking a beating. They were doing so well to hold it, But now they've come back down towards what we can understand to be near the previous pools of liquidity right here. So you've got to be aware, guys. Sharp movements imply something. Sharp movements mean that they're trying to shift out of a particular zone to induce traders to change their desired direction to the other direction, which is favoring the market maker's attempt to either build longs or build shorts. Remember, sharp moves up get followed by sharp moves down. Okay? So always keep that in mind. This is why I say to you, focus on coins that are in the red because they could be basing and building. The coins that are in the positive are coming away from zones, okay? The only way that you can try and capitalize on coins that are positive is if you look at the smaller percentage gains from them. So look at Engine Coin, okay? It looks like they're actually trying to come away from this zone. You've got big support with the green vector candle right here. Something is brewing in this zone with the fact that they are highly trading in this zone. There's a lot of trading happening in this zone. Something is about to happen for Engine Coin, and we're going to be waiting to see if that's going to be the case. Are we going to get another attempt towards the upside to take out these previous pools of liquidity? You see, what you need to understand, guys, is this. When you're coming to the chart to try and determine what is this next cyclical direction of any coin, you need to try and understand the structure of where they've come from in order to understand what they're likely to do next based on what they're doing now. Yeah? Bit of a mouthful, but that's what the process is when you're trading. Sand. Look at sand. Yeah? Sand is up 9%, but it's come away from the zone. Had we looked at this earlier on in the Asian session, we wouldn't have seen that success right there. It would have been only up positive by a few percent, maybe 2-3%. But now they've shifted out of the zone, and now we're up like nearly at 10% gain for the day. Okay? But we would have been aware from the pattern. If you looked at sand yesterday in the Asian session, you would have seen that she was dropping to the downside. Okay? Not yesterday, the day before. Yes, yesterday on the 10th. Sorry, 2 days ago. You would have seen that she was dropping. So you would have been preparing yourself for a W formation if it was going to hold. Seems like sand has made the move first. Now, there are other altcoins out there that are showing the same behavior. Okay? Just look at Mana. We drew this out a couple of days ago. W formation, shifting out of the zone. Done. What's the other coin that I'm looking for? Axis. There it is. Is Axis going to show that same behavior like Sand did and try and come away from the zone? Is this what's going to happen? See a W formation? Are we going to see a realization to this previous pool of liquidity right here? But the thing that's concerning me, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that everything moved yesterday or last night, well, the last couple of hours, in line with what Bitcoin did. Everything dropped the same way Bitcoin did. Something's brewing. Ethereum, pulling back down towards the previous pool right here. She's done a good job of that. A big drop to the downside. Are the UK session traders or the market makers in UK preparing price for New York to initiate a reversal? Problem is, guys, is if this reversal is short-lived, we're going to see a continuation to the downside. Okay? There could be a possibility that if Ethereum does break down lower and recover all of this wick right here, then we will be at a nominal point in the chart where they'll be bringing price back into a previous accumulation zone right here, all right, where we're going to see volatile behavior. It's all down to what New York decides to do, all right? Looking at Alice, same pattern forming on Alice, okay? Something's going to be breaking. You just need to get yourselves prepared and ready for when things actually turn. This pattern could fail. It could fail across the board. New York could wipe the floor with us, and they could attack all the liquidity to the downside because they've been rising quite a bit. So they need to bring it back into fair value to prepare price for the weekend to start the whole game all over again next week. Solana, bleeding. She likes to come down to the 800 EMA if she gets a chance to. She's taken the first pool of liquidity in this zone right here. The next zone is sat with the full remainder of this wick. So keep an eye out on Solana. Ideally, what you want to be paying attention to, guys, is the altcoins that are showing favor to stay in their zones. For example, like Alice. If they're trying to hold the gains in this area here, pay attention to those coins whilst everything else is dropping. All right? Because we do see that. What I want to see is I want to see the disparity between when Bitcoin's making a move and the altcoins are starting to go against what Bitcoin's doing. I want to see that. But based on what we've seen earlier, the past couple of hours, when everything dropped across the board, tells me that New York could influence the same thing with Bitcoin and everything else. So just be careful. Okay? Across the board, guys, I've got this screenshot for all the coins on Binance, trade against USDT. And take yourselves a screenshot of this bad boy right here, because it's going to tell you exactly what's performing well and what isn't. Okay, so far you've got Sand, Mana, XEC, Dodo, Storge, is that right? Unify. So far, those are the coins that are actually doing very well. BAT's doing well. Okay, and Algo's doing really well. You can see that those figures are positive, and as you work your way down into this heat map itself, it starts to get negative. All right, but focus on these coins here as well, guys, because these are the coins that could be basing and preparing for a move to the upside. All right, so just to keep you informed, guys, tonight there won't be a live stream. However, I'll be doing a video which is going to summarize a number of coins. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm going to do a weekly review of everything across the board, and then you'll be able to be aware of what to expect in the weekend and then setting up for next week. If you are new to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tino, and I hope if you've managed to watch all of this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch up with you guys later on. Stay safe, guys. Peace.